thank you all very much for taking a few minutes out of your day to come join us. And really what we're trying to do here today is recognize some of the work that we've been doing in partnership with the Office of Housing and Livable Communities. We're really fortunate today to have Secretary Augustus here with us. It's his first trip through the city, and hopefully you'll be coming down even more in the future. But we've been fortunate to work with them and do a lot of improvements to all of our senior housing units in the city. In this particular building, we've done a lot of the ADA compliance issues, upgraded those, but the big thing we've done, obviously, is the roof. And you that live here and that have been down here know that we've had issues with leaking in our kitchen, in this space that we have here today. So it's really been an issue. But with the help of the state stepping up and funding us through the different programs, we've been able to replace the roof. It's completed at this point. Up at the Pleasant Street project, that's probably been going 6 or 7 years now, Chad. It's one where we basically gutted all the units and refurbished them all 40 units up there, and that's a completed project. So they're great partners to have. I do want to recognize Chad Carter, that's running the operation here, our CDA and our housing in the state, the city of Marlborough. He's done a fantastic job. He's obviously been with us a while now, and thanks, Chad, for everything you've been doing for us. But I do want to recognize and ask Secretary Augustus to come say a few words, because without his help, we don't get these programs off the ground. So with that, Secretary Augustus.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank Mayor Vigeant for his leadership and for his kind introduction and for his friendship. He's been a great help to me in my first couple of months as Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities, as we've been dealing with a myriad of issues. And he's been somebody I've spoken to probably a half a dozen times, if not more. So he is very much on top of everything that's going on here in Marlborough, knows the needs of this community, and is not afraid to express those needs to anybody and everybody who needs to hear it, and I appreciate that. And I want to thank our legislators who are part of the reason that I'm standing here today as Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities. The governor recommended to the legislature the creation of a secretariat to focus specifically on our housing needs in Massachusetts. We all know housing is a major issue here in Massachusetts. The competitiveness of the Commonwealth is going to be contingent on our ability to build more housing of all types across the entire Commonwealth. We're hearing many, many stories of folks who can't afford to continue to live here in Massachusetts, and that's going to be a barrier to us bringing jobs and expanding jobs here in Massachusetts if people can't afford to live here. And there's nothing more fundamental, nothing more basic than the necessity of folks living in a safe and healthy home. That's core to our responsibilities at Commonwealth. So I want to thank the legislators for all they've done to bring about this secretariat, and I look forward to working with our legislative partners as well as our municipal partners. I know the Commonwealth, through the block grant program, was able to invest about $800,000 in various projects here in Marlborough, including the roof replacement on this facility. And it's important because our seniors have worked their entire lives, they've built our communities, they've raised their families, they've paid their taxes, and they deserve to live in dignity and with respect. They deserve to have spaces like this that they can create community and get to know people. We know that's important to aging in a healthy way, having that socialization, that ability to make friends and connect with friends and stay active and mentally and physically engaged. And so we're so happy to be making these kind of investments. And we know when we make the investments in Marlborough, the money's going to be spent well. The projects are going to be very purposeful and very impactful on people's lives. So it's a win-win for us. So congratulations to the mayor, your legislative delegation, to Chad, and to all the folks responsible for actually implementing these projects. Thanks very much.
And as the Secretary said, we can't do any of this without the help from the legislators that we have in Boston. So I want to thank them very much and ask Representative Gregoire to come up and say a couple words.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I gotta say, I'm kind of getting used to being able to do celebrations like this. So I'm grateful to our partnership with the mayor and with the governor and with some of the things that we've been able to do and invest in our community. I think part of the reason that all of us got into service is to serve the communities that we love so much and that created the people who we are today. And this is just another example of that. And like the secretary said, we don't want to just give people a place to live. We want to give them a livable and enjoyable place to age and to continue to be part of our community. So what we're celebrating today is the roof on this building, the beautiful accomplishments on Pleasant Street, and I look forward to continuing our partnership into the new administration and into the new administration here in Marlborough. But we still have so much to celebrate, and we're just happy to be here today to make this announcement and to celebrate with you all and to make sure that you know that we're here for you and we're working for you, because that's why you elected us, and we want to continue to do the best work we can for you every single day. So thank you very much for having us here this morning.
Thank you, Representative. And Representative Gentile.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and I want to congratulate Secretary Augustus as our first Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities, and we're so grateful for the block grant, and it was well spent, and the city's attention to creating and maintaining housing for elderly and families in Mount Marlborough, and we're looking forward to continuing that effort and building more units in the future, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. And I do want to recognize Paul. So Paul is one of our board members, and he's your designee. He's the seniors designee that live in the housing. He actually lives in the housing himself down on Bolton Street. And Paul comes to the meeting, and he gets Chad's ear, and he's very vocal about the things that we need in our housing complexes. So, Paul, thank you very much for your dedication. You've been on there a number of years and do a great job. Thank you. And is anyone going to say anything about the pool tables? You know, are they all right? Are they good? They're working out? No, it's great to have a little more activity down here. So thank you all very, very much for all the dedication that some of our leaders in the building come through with, the suggestions you have. That's what makes the changes here. When you come up with suggestions and bring them to Chad or bring them to Paul, it helps us decide what we want to do in the future. But the whole thing is trying to have nice, comfortable, safe units for our seniors to live in. So thank you all very, very much. We got to let Chad say a couple words here. He's put in more than his time here.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning. Thank you all for coming down to celebrate the Liberty Hill Roof Replacement Project. To Secretary Augustus, Representatives Gregoire and Gentile, and Shelley from EOHLC, thank you all for coming down. Thank you for your continued support and for the funding that made not only this project possible, but all the countless other projects possible as well. You're the reason our residents can age in place, and you all hit on that very well. And this would not have been possible without all of you, so thank you very much. I also want to thank the MCDA Board of Commissioners for your leadership throughout this project, and Mayor Vigeant as the chairman of our board. You're such an inspiration and the driving force behind everything that we do here at the MCDA, so thank you very much. To our grant consultants from Community Opportunities Group, unfortunately they couldn't be here today. Wayne Dara, Paula Stewart, and Kathy Bertolette. They not only wrote our grant that was funded and partially funded this project, but they administered it as well. So it's not an easy job that they do here, but we are very appreciative of everything that they do for us. And to our local Tenants Association, who's here today, and their president, Janice Baker, thank you very much for all your patience throughout this project. I know it wasn't easy having contractors drill holes in the ceiling and making all the noise, but you guys were very patient. Thank you. And more importantly, your help in keeping all the residents informed from beginning to end was very helpful. Not every executive director in Massachusetts has the help from their local tenants association, so thank you for that. And lastly, to the MCDA staff, whose hard work and dedication goes beyond what is asked of them. They're the ones that run the programs that benefit so many people in so many communities. So I just want to sincerely thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you guys do for not only me, but for the city of Marlborough. Thank you guys.